Welcome back to Reporter's Diary. Time to take stock of how activity is shaping up on Deal Street. Grant Thornton has released their Deal Tracker report for activity in August 2016. I'll take a closer look at the trends. I'm joined by Prashant Mehra, partner at Grant Thornton. Thanks, Prashant, for taking out the time to be with us today. In fact, I was going through the report and I couldn't help notice that M&A activity is up 40% compared to the same period last year. What are the factors driving growth higher?
You're definitely right. Of the 130 deals which have been clocked in August, contributing about 3.6 billion, almost 2.5 billion has actually come from M&A, which is about a 40% growth. There are two parts to the M&A. I mean, there is cross-border, which has seen about 45% growth from last year, same month, and then there's been a threefold increase in domestic M&A. I mean, you would probably recall that a couple of quarters back we had predicted this, that there will be a significant surge in domestic activity because the economy is growing, all the positive economic factors are fine, with the reforms coming in, especially around ease of doing business and GST more significantly. These all will drive both growth in M&A through consolidation and otherwise, and I think that's exactly what's happening, which is why we see the surge. But however, there are two sides to a coin. So on the flip side, there is a substantial decline in PE activity, both in terms of deal value and volume, which has been continuing for a few months, and that needs to pick up.
Right, Prashant. So in fact, I was coming to that. While M&A has been strong, PE has been significantly sluggish over the past few months. In fact, I've been going through a report. Why is that the case? What are the factors behind the decline in PE activity?
So there are a couple of factors, according to me. I think, frankly speaking, it was a kind of a wait and watch situation by the private equities. Now, with the domestic scenario changing, private equity money will be looked at as an alternate means of capital for financing acquisitions, since acquisition financing is still not allowed in this country. So that will be a new use of PE money. And we should soon see, large private equity transactions happening. In fact, they've already started, but they're just itsy-bitsy here and there. We should see a fair bit of that. The other bit is that private equity currently seems to be concentrated on the startup sector. Even in this particular month, from the $1.1 billion invested, about 55% went to the startup sector. So we will probably see less of the startup sector and more of the manufacturing sector, which was the other sector which did well in PE. But yes, as the economy is improving, I think private equity probably it's an inflection point, and they will just soon start surging as well.
Right. In fact, that was the D-series funding for hike, I believe. But Prashant, now we have seen activity in telecom, startups, in fact, manufacturing as well. Do you expect momentum to continue in these sectors, or are you pegging different sectors going ahead into the future?
No, I think the momentum will continue and should continue rather. The government is pushing ease of doing business. In fact, very recently, government has declared that GST, banking and infrastructure would be their key priorities, and these all three are essential for any growth-oriented economy. So, I think not just the traction, but we will probably see significant deals happening in the core sectors such as pharma, healthcare, infrastructure, and specifically manufacturing.
What about banking?
Banking, yes, I think we've already seen a fair bit of activity this month. I mean, it's really BFSI, banking and financial services industry. We've seen some large transactions in the insurance sector, which is around consolidation, and I think banking as well. We're probably a few months away from the banking reforms coming into play. So once that happens, I think we will see significant activity, again more around consolidation in the banking sector as well.
Right, Prashant, thanks so much for joining us with your take on last month's M&A activity. In fact, we'll speak to you soon again to see how that shapes up. But that's all we have on this edition of Reporter's Diary. Thank you so much for watching. But do stay tuned to CNBC TV 18. Our Friday special Commodity Champions is coming up next.